Just to let Jim Stutzman know, the home of UV, Germany, the setbacks in quiet rural areas is 1.2 miles.
Just a minute, I have one more question.
Norris Columbia. Over 30 years ago, I sat on a planning commission for over a year to put together a zoning ordinance. And it's funny that at that point in time, this community decided they didn't need zoning. They wanted to live and die by state regs and county regs. So they voted it out. And at that time, they knew that they could open themselves up to some issues down the road someday.
Make a cow
So,
farm. Make a cow farm.
exactly. Which, by the way, they would probably be there for the price of milk dropping so cheap. But anyway, so I think that's an issue that we have to live by, because that's what we voted for. So some of this conversation doesn't really have to be made.
All right. Thank you. I just wanted to ask real quick to Norris's comment there. The people that are here from Ogden Township tonight, how many have moved here in the last 30 years? And I think that's kind of an accurate reflection of what's going on here in the township. There are a sizable portion, perhaps maybe not a majority, but a very large number of people that were not here 30 years ago. They're probably not people that are engaged in farming, that don't have historical ties to the area, but they still have every right to be protected by their township government. I applaud the folks tonight that voted against stacking the Citizens Commission. I think the rules were very clearly laid out here during this whole process. If you've attended all the meetings, as I have, I think the intent was very clear from the very beginning. It was very disappointing to see an attempted stacking of the board a la, it reminds me like FDR in the 30s. Didn't like the result the Supreme Court was going to give him, so you stack the board, and maybe that way you can dilute the results. So I do appreciate the people on the board that stood up for everyone tonight and continued with the process in an honest and straightforward manner. And I would just say that if anyone would like to talk to me after the meeting, I have some political means by which we can probably move the situation forward. So please see me after the meeting if you'd like to see this issue dealt with. Thank you.
Just a minute, Norris. I got this lady standing.
Libby Salick again from Ogden. I would like to know why our townships, Fairfield, Palmyra, Riga, and us, if we have one township, example Riga, that sets up a ordinance that is working and is beneficial to the residents, why the other townships can't, for uniformity's sake, adopt the same ordinance, so we have uniformity in all the townships, so all the wind turbine companies have the same regulations across the board, and they're not doing 50 here and 40 there and 35 here, and they have a uniformity with all of us. There's no reason why that we're all citizens in different townships, but we're all neighbors in the same state and in the same county. We can't have a uniformity when it comes down to regulations that's going to affect everybody here. And I really would encourage our board to work with the other board members from the different townships and say, if Riga is drafting this ordinance and this is what's going to be in the best benefit of their residents, we should do the same thing, and we should encourage Fairfield to do the same thing in Palmyra, so we're protecting all of our residents.
Josh, I didn't propose we stack the committee. It's already stacked. I just propose that we make it a little more fair, that's all.
Thank you. My name is Jamie Schmitz. I'm the president and CEO of Pt5 Toledo. I also am a broadcast journalist by profession. My question is how much money has the township board allotted to the Citizens Committee? What is their budget for doing their research and so that they can move forward? What is the budget that's been allotted to the Citizens Action Center?
There's been no budget set.
So the correct answer would be $0?
Strictly volunteer. It's voluntary.
Well, I presented on Thursday night, as I'm sure you were in the meeting, a report from Pt5 about interference to our signal. Matter of fact, you can all look at that tonight at WLMV.com. slash wind, and you can read that report, because that will show that you, one of the things about this whole thing is if, I encourage you to take as much time as is needed, because I want you to imagine a tube of toothpaste and squeezing all the toothpaste out of the tube. Once that toothpaste is out of the tube, you got to think about, oh, how do we put the toothpaste back in the tube? You don't do that very easily now, do you? And one of the things that hasn't been identified over at Rigan, they could have voted on Thursday night to adopt the draft language that they had and made that their ordinance, but WLB brought to their attention, as other issues came up, that it would grossly affect the reception of channels like Channel 11, Channel 13, Channel 24. You see that they're here. 24 is here, Fox is here, Channel 11, 13, 24, 36, 40, Channel 30. These wind turbines will turn your radio frequency and television frequencies into confetti. And when that happens, what does that do for public safety? And and everybody that thinks that this thing absolutely has to happen, it does not have to happen, because the state of Michigan says that public safety always trumps economic gain. Always. Because the state has determined that. And also these signals that are going out over the area, let me tell you something. You may be able to wave a setback, but you cannot wave electromagnetic spectrum. You cannot wave TV, because they're owned by the United States citizens, and they are regulated and licensed to broadcasters.
Ed, I've been putting you off, go ahead.
Yeah, I got a lot of education. I'm a landowner. And by the way, Norris, I'm the one that helped put out zoning. It's probably one of the lead persons. I'm proud of it. And I agree with fairness. The reason we took out zoning, for you people that might not have been here in 1981, is because of the unfairness. They had one word in zoning, variance. You can go to your zoning board and ask what you want, and they could say, yeah, we'll give you a variance. You can do anything you want then. Now I dare say that if all these farmers, and I am one, would take the monetary value out of that lease and make it fair for every one of the residents here, now we all look at it together with the same equal benefit, right? But they look at them, they see that thing twirling, oh, we got dollars coming in here. The more that turns during the year, the more they get subsidy. Now that's not fair. And for people to suggest that you don't have fairness on your board, that's absurd. I resent these remarks.
This is Doug, and we're going to get to it for the next one. I just want to comment on the last two comments. First of all, wind farms and broadcasters have coexisted peacefully on many projects across the United States. And in the development of our project, we're committed to doing the proper siting work to be sensitive to any broadcast issues.
It may have worked well out in Kansas, but it does not work well in this area. And you said to me on Thursday night that you had studies, and it didn't show very much interference. Produce those studies! Where are those studies, Doug?
We won't have that in this meeting, sir.
Very good.
Okay.
One of the things with doing the studies is we do them once we have a layout. We don't have a layout yet for the study. So, and then on the other issue with respect to distributing cash, one of the reasons the point that Ed brought up is brought up, and we're sensitive to the fact that one of the things you can't do with a wind turbine is hide it. So that's why we are committed to signing up residents that live within a half a mile of any turbine to the same deal that someone that has a 100-acre parcel that doesn't end up with any facility. So that is a way of ensuring that the people that live near the turbine do enjoy and share in the financial benefits of that.
What are you going to do if they won't sign up?
That's their decision.
So if I don't agree to it, and I'm a half a mile from the wind turbine, then screw me.
Please refrain from those statements.
Two things. First, I just did a quick look up, and They have a 550-meter setback in Ontario that has been upheld by their courts. It's approximately 1,800 feet, quite significantly more than what Mr. Doomering is offering you folks here in Ogden. And then I'd also like to address this idea of financial compensation for non-participants, turning them into participants. They're offering $1,500 a year. That's $1 a day per person for a family of 4. You'll be lucky if that covers your co-pays from going to the doctor for sleep deprivation and related illnesses.
I'm
I
selling
would say
drugs.
that would pay the electric bill for the year and more.
When you have that air conditioning continuously all summer.
Yeah.
Way in the back, I've been waiting.
Mike Reed, Elmira Township. My brother's good at stirring the pot, and I don't usually say much, but and I probably won't say anything too outrageous, but maybe I will. For all the antis, look over at Japan, what's going on with their nuclear plants. We got Davis Bessie 60 miles away.
Oh.
For all we know, we got one over at Chicago. The wind goes both ways. What do you want? Wind towers, or you want to get radioactive out of the deal?
Those wind towers, those monuments were made 40 years ago, and they're no longer available because of bad construction.
Please, if you want to speak, you have to address things. Take your turn. Okay?
Rebuttal to the nuclear argument, I knew that'd be coming up, and so did Rush Limbaugh today, and I double-checked his data. How many people in the last 10 years died in a nuclear facility in the United States? 4. How many people died on a windmill? 44.
How many died in coal plants?
Didn't have that data.
Thank you.
If I may, maybe for the pro-wind folks, maybe you guys would like to listen to the CEO of Exelon, Mr. John Rowe, who has stated, without any equivocation whatsoever, that natural gas is cleaner and more efficient than any alternative fuel available. So I think we need to focus our efforts on natural gas and quit wasting our time on supposedly clean wind. And apparently so does Mr. Rowe.
Yeah, I read Mr. Rowe's remarks. Natural gas is only 80% clean. So in order to meet his clean air standards that he's already set, that he would completely eliminate his carbon footprint by the year 2020, he needs wind and he needs solar. Why else would he buy John Deere renewables if he didn't need it?
I have to ask Mr. Rowe about his comments.
Hey, Mr. Rowe has been the president of the company for 27 years. So obviously he's a pretty smart man.
I agree.
Yes, Netherlands is getting rid of their windmills because they're not working out, and it's a fact, it's online.
Yeah, I wanted to say something. I don't think there's anybody in the room here that doesn't, when you go